Always deadlines, right?
Chip, Tennessee's front was known for kind of getting pressure on quarterbacks and sacks.
Mm-hmm.
You guys didn't give up any tonight. It seemed like Will had a lot of time to throw. What do you think the line you guys did to kind of ensure get a clean pocket? It seemed like for a lot of the game.
Yeah, I think our line played outstanding tonight. That defense going in, I think they were 5th in the country in total defense and 5th in scoring defense, and we know how difficult they can be. You watch their games, and they got after everybody they played. But I think really credit to our offensive line keeping Will clean. Will knew if he could be clean and go through his reads and get a chance to get through his progressions, we'd have a shot at beating these guys. And I think our offensive line did an outstanding job in protection tonight for Will.
Hey, folks, if we can start to wrap up with Cody and Jack back there. Over here to the right, Dylan Davis, Delaware Gazette.
When you make some changes along the offensive line, are there things that maybe you can do to help those guys out? Are there ways that you can call plays, things you can scheme up to help them out, like that maybe you wouldn't otherwise do if it was your...
We're always trying to play to their strengths. So depending on who's in the game, and Justin did a great job of telling us what the rotation is, who's in at left guard, who's in at right guard. Everybody has strengths. Sometimes you try to hide a weakness or two. But I think we tried to play to all of their strengths. I think all 3 of those guys have strengths. I think just you don't get a ton. We get some feedback looking at the tablets and seeing some things. But I thought all 3 of those guys did a nice job. We'll break the film down early tomorrow and get a grade on them and get a look at them. But I think having depth at this point in time during the season is critical. And the fact that we got 3 guys in there that I think played at a pretty high level today was important for us.
Front row left, Andy Anders, 11 Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, to what extent do you buy into the fact that you can throw to set up the run? And was that kind of the emphasis in this game? Because it was a lot of passes early and then later kind of took control and ran out the clock with the running game.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on who you're playing. So I think there's always a philosophical approach when you're playing somebody based upon what their strengths are and what their weaknesses are and what you're trying to exploit. I don't think it's necessarily as easy as, say, throw to set up the run. I've done that before and gone 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and we haven't gone anywhere with it. So it's not just, hey, just do this and it works. It comes down to the players executing, and I thought our players executed at a really high level tonight.
That's right. Over here to the right, Stefan Kreishnik, Cleveland.com.
For the last 3 weeks, what impressed you about Will? Not just the way his play improved, but kind of how he handled the 3 weeks after the Michigan loss. Yeah,
I think the one thing with Will is he's consistent. He's the same person every day. He's not too high, he's not too low. He's a lifelong learner. He's got a thirst for learning. He's in every day. He's watching film, he's studying, he's always trying to get better, and can he get just a little bit better on a daily basis. But the one thing about Will, there's a consistency to his approach, and there's a consistency to how he is every single day in practice. He's not one of those guys that's low on one day, high on another day. He's not like that. He's kind of really steady in his approach to how he prepares for games, and I think that's what you see when he plays in a game like he did tonight.
Okay, we're going to go do one more question for Coach Kelly, but in the meantime, I'm going to send JT Tuimoloau to that back table on the right. Over here to the left, Jake Trotter, ESPN.
Yeah, Chip, a few days after the Michigan game, Ryan said, we have plenty of good enough players to go on a run and win the national championship. What did this performance tonight say about what you guys are capable of when you play your game? Yeah,
it says we're one of 8 teams left. Everybody is fighting for the same prize. And obviously each game gets a little bit more amplified. But to win it all, you got to win the first one. And that was really the whole team's focus. And I thought Ryan did a great job with keeping everybody focused. It really wasn't talk about what are we going to do on January 20th, because January 20th didn't mean anything if we didn't take care of December 21st. I think our guys were laser focused on playing this game. Obviously, when you turn the tape on and you watch how talented Tennessee is, that got your attention right away. So, there was no looking past them to whoever is the next game. And obviously, we know we're going to go play the Oregon, and that was in the back, though. It was just all about Tennessee, because you got to win the first one to get going. So we'll regroup tomorrow. We'll look at the film. And then we'll start as quick as we can getting ready for the next one.
And one last question, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Nobody knows Ryan and is closer to Ryan than you are in the coaching profession. The last 3 weeks, I would imagine, have been as tough a time for him as ever in his coaching career. How did he handle it? What did you see from him during this period? Maybe that, I don't know if you'd seen before or just impressed you or whatever.
No, I just saw the guy I've known since he was 5. And I told him a long time ago, he's built for this. And he understands it. He understands the gravity of what his position is. He understands, how everybody feels about Buckeye football, and rightly so. And he feels the same exact way. So I don't think anybody took the loss to the team up north harder than he took that loss. And that's just the type of person he is. But he also has to lead from the front. So it wasn't feel sorry for me and, hey, is everybody going to pick me up or are they going to make me feel better? It was like, no, we gotta address this the right way. We got to look at what we did on film. We got to figure out how can we correct that. How do we put our positions? I think your job as a coach is to put your players in positions to make plays. We didn't do that in the last game, and we did a better job of that tonight. And then our players went out and won this football game. There's not one coach that played today. So the credit goes to those guys. They were awesome, and they were clicking on all cylinders. And when you start to call plays, and Will can finish the play before you get it out, you know how dialed in you are. And I think that's what these 2 weeks were, as we're saying, hey, we're going to go to 9. And before I could even get the second part of the play out, and it was a 10-play word call, he had it. He knew what we were doing. And I think the buy-in, especially from the leaders here and our senior leaders, is tremendous. And I think that's what's going to propel us as we continue to move forward with the ultimate goal of trying to get to January 20th. In both. We have a communication system that is kind of unique, but we're always talking through the headset, and he'll hand signal and got it, and I will start to make check it and he knows he got it, and so I think it just tells where he is and how dialed in Will has been throughout the entire season. And I think, I don't know what he finished today, but I think it was above 80 again. We talk about that, but I think there's a reason for that, and it's how hard he works at it. I think he understands the fundamentals of the position, but really the game within the game, and taking what the defense gives them and making those decisions of when to take a check down and not to force a play. But if your opportunities come and you do have a shot to put the ball in only a spot where JJ can catch it, or if JJ can't catch it, they're going to have to interfere with them. And great decision making today. But I think the credit goes to the players, man. Those guys have been awesome since what happened in the last game. And I think those guys said, hey, we got a chance here, and because we're in it, and that was the only thing they were hoping for is, are we still in this tournament? If we're in the tournament, then let's go win it.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.